So I was invited to participate in a group show happening in Long Beach. It's a show curated by an artist, Scott Zaragoza. And basically, the premise of the show is everyone is given a blank vinyl sleeve, and everyone's assigned a specific song or album. And each artist basically is recreating the album art that's going to be on the sleeve. So I think it should be really interesting to see what everyone else comes up with. The song that I picked and I'm assigned is Stone Soul Picnic by The Fifth Dimension. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the show, seeing what the other artists do as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. For this group, I knew that there were a lot of members. There's 5 total members. So I knew I needed to warm up a bit and actually see if I could draw their faces. So that's why I kind of chose to just do some rough sketches with a ink pen, an ink marker of sort. So I cannot really spend too much time on each face because I was also on a bit of a deadline for this piece. And this process that I've been working on is just something I've been kind of experimenting with and having a lot of fun with, just because it allows me to use a lot of different mediums and materials, and it's just a really interesting time and process for me to kind of experiment and, hopefully innovate things. A lot of times when creating, I feel like I can get a bit obsessive in materials we use, and I feel that experimenting and using this process really helps me disassociate from kind of the psychology I attach to my tools. And I feel like, especially if you learn a certain way, or you are just following a type of process or kind of school of thought, sometimes it kind of puts ourselves in this mental prison, and we kind of just rely on these methods and processes. But I feel like, as much as that's very valid and there are reasons why those systems exist, it's really important for me as a creative to just kind of let go and figure out things on my own terms and develop my own connections and relationship with my creative process. And who knows, you may develop something interesting that is unique to you, but there's not really any way to find that unless you kind of let go and venture out. And as I've kind of jumped into different ways of working and experimented with different materials and techniques, it's really been fun and eye-opening. I feel that every time that I kind of change things up and mix kind of the materials I use, I receive feedback from each technique or tool. It pulls me deeper into this kind of flow state where I feel like I'm tapping into discovering and experimenting with mark making and kind of reconnecting the dots that I have with my own process. One of my favorite things about working in this way is just allowing moments from the beginning of my process to breathe through the final image. It's showcasing the early moments of uncertainty and spontaneity, along with the final and more finessed moments. It's parts that were never calculated, but parts that I found beautiful. This is something that I don't think can be recreated. This is the kind of work that I connect most with. Sometimes we forget that what we're doing it's kind of swag. I mean, if you think about it, when you create in this spontaneous manner, and it's like there's no way you can recreate that. It feels as if I'm documenting a moment and expression in time. It's a moment that you can't really find anywhere else. The only way you can really experience anything in that kind of capacity or manner again is just going back to your creative process and seeing what else you can uncover. When I think about this idea, this is one of the biggest driving forces that reignites that fire in me and inspires me to want to continue painting and creating and seeing what else is out there. And it's really that magic that you're able to kind of experience and find in the unknown, which I feel like is what makes this whole process interesting, engaging, and keeps me coming back and returning to just experience that more. I think having a process where we experience mystery, unknown, uncertainty, calculation, all of those things coming together, it's hard not to connect that with our own lives. And that's what I love about this process.